Jack has lost all of his real friends, and everyone that's currently around him just cares about the money, the materialistic things, the cars, the house, and they could care less about his and how he ends up as a man.
The crazy thing about all of this is that his whole image, his whole facade is built on a series of lies. The whole castle that he's built is all lies. And it's crazy, when one arrow of truth comes in, it can crumble an entire village. Jack Doherty must be stopped.
Little crop, what you gonna do? What you gonna do?
Hey, tell me what you're saying.
No, we were just talking about like the bedrooms downstairs.
Why wouldn't you get my name tag?
The things we're gonna be breaking down and exposing in this video are gonna reveal the truth about Jack Doherty.
The stuff that he doesn't want anyone to know.
I didn't say any words. What'd I say? What'd I say?
The things that he hides from the public eye and who he really is behind the scenes.
For legal purposes, everything we talk about in this video is alleged and everyone is innocent until proven guilty.
But throughout this video, we will be giving proof, text messages, screenshots, and even video evidence to help back up our claims. We believe is the of our generation, and it is even having a more detrimental impact on society than we even realize.
Hopefully by the end of this video, we can open your eyes to what's really going on. Chapter 1. The backstory.
For those of you guys that don't know, I'm Ricky.
I'm Nick.
And we actually met Jack Doherty back in 2017, right when we started popping off on YouTube. He started popping at the same time. We became friends. We actually filmed a decent amount of videos together, and we actually ended up moving in together in a house with all of us back in 2021. And for those of you guys that don't know this guy right here, this is Matthew JGL. He worked with Jack Doherty from 3 million subs all the way to 10 million subs. All those shorts that you saw Jack Doherty pop off with, he pretty much edited every single one of those, so he has a very good insight of what it was like behind the scenes and how Jack really is as a person, as well as us. I would say us three maybe know him, besides his family, as much as anyone else.
Not only did they live with him, but I also lived with Jack for 6 months, and I saw all the things that happened behind the scenes.
From the moment Nick and I moved in with Jack Doherty back in 2021, there was signs of who he was becoming and the path that he was going down, but Nick and I did not see those signs at the time.
When we were originally supposed to move into the house, there was supposed to be 5 of us. Me, Ricky, Jack Doherty, Solo Flow, and another YouTuber. Everyone moved in a month prior to me and Ricky though, because I stayed home and trained for my boxing match.
This is where we should have known there was problems, because before Nick and I even made it to the house, one of the YouTubers left specifically because of Jack Doherty, and Solo Flow and Jack were already having arguments and disagreements every single day before we even made it to the house. And the one common denominator with all of this was Jack Doherty.
The moment Jack actually got this house, I remember he invited me over, and I would go almost every day. At the time, I was filming for Jeremy Hutchins and various other YouTubers, but I would always hang out with Jack, and I would see him going back and forth with Solo Flow and just how he was as a person before they even got there. At first, me and Jack were just friends. I would always be around filming, having my camera in hand, and he loved it. I never asked for money. I never cared to do it to work for him. I even told myself I would never work with him because he's just so crazy. Then eventually, I started working with Jesser, and then I would see him less and less. And then that's when things got out of hand.
Chapter 2. Who is Jack Doherty?
I've worked with dozens of YouTubers in my life, such as Mr. Beast, Jake Paul, Jesser, and most infamously, Jack Doherty. Working with him, I got to see the crazy sides of him that no one else will ever get to see. And today, the truth comes to light, and I'm exposing it all for everyone to know.
What does he do, and why do we want to stop him? Everyone sees the lavish lifestyle, the cars, the girls, the jewelry, the clothes. He has it all when it comes to the surface. But when you actually dig deeper and see what he has to do in order to live the lifestyle he has, most people wouldn't trade what they are doing for him, especially knowing that he wakes up, he pops all day, every day in order to function. And if he doesn't know how to act. He can't get out of bed. And most people will never see that side of him. They only see how good everything is But when you actually break it down, no one around him likes him. His brother doesn't like him. Almost everyone in that house says they hate him, but when it comes to being in there, they stay because money makes the world go round. He's changed a lot of people's lives, mostly in a negative way, but some in a positive way. Also, on top of that, he's told me and Matt multiple times that he doesn't feel anything. He has no emotion for human connection, and you can see that clearly when it comes to his videos. He has no remorse for human dignity or respect. Just the way that he acts, it's almost like a robot and everything is for the money.
And Jack is aware due to that he has a heart of a 60-year-old, and he continues to act this way.
He will stop at nothing to make another dollar or to gain more followers, but at the end of the day, there's some things that money can't buy.
Let's break down just how he lives this lavish lifestyle. His primary main source of income is, and how he gets people there is by making these hard to watch faked little skit videos for Instagram and TikTok. And if you're above the age of 10, you know that they're clearly fake.
How many pumps does it take to explode the world's largest prime model? And then I had to get an girl that was really good at blowing to blow it all the way up to
100. I'm so dizzy.
and she got so tired that I had to swap girls and she took it all the way up to
200 blows.
it was getting so hard to pump, and after pumping and pumping non-stop,
It's so hard now.
But majority of his audience is younger kids. Just take a look at this video. These are fans coming up to him out in public. Those are the type of kids that are watching these videos. He also has these girls in his videos that are all signed to his agency, and he takes a majority of their income and pays them a small salary, a small fraction of what they bring in. And Jack will say that these videos are geared towards older people, to try and get older people with money to spend money on him and his girls. But that's just not the case. If you take a look at the editing, the bright colors, the over-enthusiastic voiceovers, the subject matters of the videos, there's no way people above the age of 10 are watching without thinking this is insanely cringy and just hard to watch in general.
how many licks does it take to finish a candy cane? Hey, you want to go on a date?
Yeah, I'd love to. Do you want to go to Chuck E. Cheese?
Uh-oh. Yeah, I'd love to.
Okay, let's go right now.
Yeah, sure. So we made it to Chuck E. Cheese, and I was so nervous, and my heart was pounding.
Not only this, but he also started IRL streaming with some of the most degenerate behavior I've ever seen.
Yo, just stop. Tell him stop. Tell him stop. Tell him stop. Oh, no, yo, stop. I didn't say any curse words. What'd I say?
Just watch your language.
What'd I say?
You got a stupid shirt on over there.
Yeah. Your kids can't read, though.
What are you talking about?
Your kids can't read, can they?
I'm sure your kids watch.
Get away from
You
me.
started talking to me, buddy.
Get away from me.
You get away from me. Watch your kids. Go walk away. McKinley, back up.
He goes out, he instigates things, he starts fights, and then as soon as anything goes a little bit wrong, he hides behind his security, has his security deal with it, and then he'll talk and blame the person for getting mad or blame the person for getting flustered and say, oh yeah, well, I'm so young.
What? Little crumb, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? Yeah.
He used to do this all the time when me and Nick would film with him back in the day. But the thing with that is, buddy, he's growing up now. He's 20 years old. He's the same age as Nick, but he uses the same excuse time and time again that, oh, I'm just a little kid, I don't know what I'm doing. But if you know Jack Doherty and you know anything about him, you know he's a smart kid. He's a businessman. Everything he does has a reason, and the reason is to make more money. So he can't play the ignorant card of, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. If he didn't know what he was doing, I would be like, okay, bro, like, I'm here to help. Like, there's people around you that want to see you do better. But he knows exactly how he's acting, what he's doing in these situations, yet continues to do it. And he can do whatever he wants at the end of the day. This is mainly for us to be talking to the kids that are watching him, that are young, and they don't even know what they're consuming. Because you guys watching, everything you do in your life, what you listen to, what you consume, what you watch, plays a role and impacts who you are and how you grow up as a human being and as you mature from young adulthood into an actual adult. And this is mainly me talking to you guys. If you're like, oh man, I think Jack Doherty's entertaining, but I don't know, and this and this, I promise you, if you continue to watch that, it will affect you in a negative way. But ultimately, that's a decision you have to come to. I'm just laying out all the facts and laying out what we've seen behind the scenes. It's so clear to see that all of his friends that actually used to be his friends are no longer there. His filmer, us, his editor, no one who was there a couple years ago is around him. Even his own brother has said multiple times that he doesn't like being around him. And he gave his own brother a Tesla. People that are literally living with him right now are talking to JGL behind the scenes saying, yo, I want to get out of here. I don't like being around Doherty, but he gives us money and that's how we live. So I don't know how to get out. And I'm gonna let JGL talk more because he has all the screenshots, all the proof. And once I heard this, I was like, yo, we have to make this video and expose a light on the truth of the situation.
Jack's own brother says all the time that the only thing he thinks about is money, and he says it literally to anybody new that comes into the house. He will make it known at some point. And on my own separate occasions, everyone in the team would come to me on their own time and talk about how they hate it there. They hate working with Jack. They want to pick something else, but they have no other option, so they feel like they're stuck. Just recently, I was going back and forth with Jack on Twitter. Grace, which is one of Jack's girls, sent me a Snapchat telling me to talk about the messages that I have with McKinley. So she's literally trying to help me with my beef back and forth with Jack. And she is currently working with Jack at the moment. Even Logan Miller, Jack's right-hand man, hits me up almost every other day trying to get me to work for him and backstab Jack without him knowing. Now, if that doesn't tell you anything, then I don't know what will. Even Michelle would talk to me all the time about how she hates it there. There's always so much drama. She wished it could all just end, but yet they're all still there. Jack has lost all of his real friends, and everyone that's currently around him just cares about the money, the materialistic things, the cars, the house, and they could care less about his addiction and how he ends up as a man.
The crazy thing about all of this is that his whole image, his whole facade is built on a series of lies. The whole castle that he's built is all lies. And it's crazy, when one arrow of truth comes in, it can crumble an entire village. And that is exactly what is happening right now. You guys know so many people make videos on Jack Doherty every single day. An exposed video, a Jack Doherty must be stopped. This is the end of Jack Doherty. So many people make so many videos that get so many views, but Jack never responds. But just the other day, we made a podcast on our It Is What It Is channel. Click right up here if you haven't seen that. We go into even more depth than we are on this video right here. But as soon as we posted that video, Jack started panicking. He texted me, he texted Nick, he texted Matt, he even texted our dad and said, yo, you guys are so mean. You don't know what you're doing. I have so much dirt on you. Like, I could expose you guys if I really wanted to. I didn't respond because I've learned over time, if you feed into Jack, he'll use it as an opportunity to get into your mind, manipulate the entire situation, gaslight you, and then make you think that you're crazy. After living with him, every single person that has ever worked or lived with him has said this or something along those lines. That's why everyone he's ever worked with or lived with is not with him anymore. He was begging for us to take the video down, saying all these different things like, yo, I could expose you guys. But the thing is, when you tell the truth and you keep it real, there's nothing to expose. And I know Jack is watching this right now, and the reason why he's even freaking out about this or panicking about this, the things that we say carry actual weight, not only because we actually lived with him and spent real time with him, but because everything we've ever done, we keep it real and legitimate. So when we say something, we mean it, which is the exact opposite of what Jack has done his whole career. Everything he's done, everything he's built up is a facade. It's built on lies. And when one arrow of truth comes into a castle full of lies, the whole village falls down and crumbles. And that's why everyone in the house is panicking. They're doing everything they can to distract from this situation. And I don't even know if Jack is going to respond to this. Whatever he does, it doesn't matter. It's not about that. He's gonna have to wake up and realize this himself. This is for any of you guys that are maybe thinking about going down the path of Jack Doherty, or I want to do this, I want to do that. Just think about the repercussions and the true cost of what you're giving up to go down that path, to give up real friendship, to give up real relationship. You watching corn or is destroying your mind, especially when you watch it from a young age. That's why it's desensitizing you to real life. Then when you talk to girls or talk to guys, whatever it is, you don't even feel like you're in real life because you've already been overstimulated, and shown everything so early. That's why there's rules and implementations in society, such as you can't have a drink till you're 21 or you can't drive until you're 16, because we know the brain takes time to develop. And the thing with this is kids are so much more technologically savvy than their parents. So when the parents put parameters on their phones or this, kids know exactly how to bypass that. You're telling me you don't think young kids know how to go on Jack Doherty's thing, go log into they know what they're doing, they know how to do it. And once they're exposed to that, there's no going back. It's doing damage that we don't even see the effects on yet. It's like cigarettes back in the day. People would smoke cigarettes all the time. Young people would do it. Everyone did it, it's fine. Oh, there's nothing wrong with it. Years later, it comes out, oh my, it was damaging everyone's lungs. It was doing all this bad stuff. That's what we all believe is the same thing happening with right now as we speak. Everyone's doing it. It's becoming like let them do it, it's not that bad. But we don't know the damage or the psychological effect that it can have on a child's brain until they grow up. But the thing is, it hasn't been around long enough for one of those kids to actually grow up and see how they turn out. And I think we have a prime example of what they could turn out to be in Jack Doherty. And imagine a world just full of Jack Dohertys. Personally, I don't want to be around that. I think one Jack Doherty is enough. Honestly, it's a little too much. But I'm not even trying, I'm just trying to be serious right now. Like, I hope that he sees this and actually wakes up.
After exposing Jack on Twitter, he has went out of his way to pay people to ban me on Instagram. I'm currently banned on Instagram. I can't post about anything, but I still have my Twitter, which he has been botting with followers, hoping to get me banned. I literally had to tweet at Elon and support on X to get these bots removed so that they wouldn't ban me and I can still have my voice. He is trying everything in his power to stop me and mute me and silence me, but he is not gonna get that.
Like we said, we believe is the of this generation, and the content that Jack makes just shoves it down the throats of the younger generation. Like, take a look at one of these videos that he posted to his Instagram.
So how does it feel to have a sister that hasn't?
My friends always ask me if it's pink, but I don't really know what they mean by that.
So today I'm gonna surprise him when he least expects it and give him $1,000 and a ride in my Lamborghini.
Here you go.
What the
Here, you can go buy some of your sister's pink pictures.
Jack!
The subject matter, the quick cuts, the editing, all of it is to garner more attention from a younger audience. But then you take a look at the actual video, it could be something completely unrelated.
We ordered pizza and started playing video games, and I couldn't stop thinking about the Chuck E. Cheese doll. All I could do was watch my back and make sure that it didn't creep up on me.
And then he slides in promos to his or whichever girl is in the video.
While he was making content in his bathroom, I took all his crimes and started jumping them.
And same thing with this stuff that he does in the IRL streaming. The reason why he does this train wreck type of content is because people love seeing train wrecks and it goes viral. All that attention just leads and funnels into people going to the girls and just going down a path that is not good for society.
What seems to be an innocent video of him buying kids toys turns into something disgusting of him pushing his in front of the little kid. I don't know how this is even a thing still, but this is disgusting.
But he's doing it in a way more sly and tricky way where the kids don't even know what is going on, and it's reprogramming their brains to get used to this kind of stuff so that it becomes so normal for them that it's not even weird anymore.
I'm actually thinking about it like right now, like how bad it really is. Like, there really are going to be kids that are so oblivious to this, and when they see it, it's just normal for them. They're just like, oh, like, all that's so normal, you know? Like, for them, it's so normal. For us, it was like, whoa, like, you do that stuff? When I was in school and, like, anybody would talk about that type of stuff, like, it was like, oh, like, look, they do that. But, like, now it's, like, a cool thing for kids, which is just, like, disgusting. To Jack, he thought what was covered up pictures eventually turned into the full-on thing. So, when does it really end?
And I think that's exactly what is happening right in front of our eyes. People start with something small and they'll be like, oh, I'm just gonna do this. And then it slowly grows and it slowly grows and then you need to do more. It's like you start with a little bit, and then to get that same high, you need a little bit more. And then you need a little bit more. And then at some point, either something bad happens and it wakes you up and you're like, whoa, maybe I need to take a step back, or you catch yourself while doing it. And at the end of the day, it all comes down to you. No one can force you to wake up. No one can do anything. Sometimes you have to burn your hand on the stove, but I think that everyone around him can see this happening. We're almost talking to him as friends that actually genuinely do care. I don't know how many people in his life genuinely do care, and I know he might watch this and be like, yo, you guys are just hating. People, even other people watching this might be like, yo, you guys are just hating. He's doing his thing, he's making money, he's doing all that. And I would say he is making money, he's doing his thing. But at the end of the day, there's certain things that money can't buy. But the good part about that is that you're never too far gone to come back and to love, bro. Like, I'm telling you, man. And there's been times where I've gone down a dark path in a different way, but there was people around me telling me, yo, you need to wake up, you need to do this. And sometimes it just takes a little bit of time, but I'm trying to speak to him as a friend and just as a brother, because we've known each other since we were little kids growing up. I've seen him, and even at the start of knowing him, he had a little inclinations and little things where he disrespect people and this and that, but it has just snowballed into this massive thing where it's only a matter of time before either he wakes up or something or someone wakes him up.
I was there the first day that Jack created the account for Zach and Natalie, and I remember that night telling him that that money is the devil's money, and he couldn't admit it.
Not to compare the two, but Jake Paul back in the day was going down a path that people could see from the outside could lead to a bad outcome. And even Jake Paul recently was on the podcast with George Janko, and he pretty much said the same thing that Ricky said about Jack Doherty, that Jack Doherty, he's going down this path, but Jack Doherty's mindset towards all of this, he hears it and he just hears it all as hate, not taking it as love, that people want to help him and protect him from going too far down the wrong path. And Jake Paul said it best. He said that even if we were all telling this right to Jack and Jack was right in front of us, he probably wouldn't listen. So I don't know what it's gonna take for Jack to realize, but we hope that he's hearing this.
How I see it is that there's always hope until you're dead. I feel like it'd be a really cool story to see Jack's whole life go the way it did, just for him to start doing things for a good cause and change his ways and be the example of it's never too late. Like no matter how far you feel like you are, how dirty you are, how stuck you are, there's always hope until you're dead. And that's how I feel, really. Like, even though me and him have had our beef, like, I would like to one day say that he could be my friend again for the right reasons.
Now it's time to get into the proof and the real life examples and interactions that we've had with Jack that really shine a light on who he is as a person. And to start it off, this is something that rubbed all of us the wrong way when we all lived together, is we would go to the grocery store and Jack would literally just shoplift. He would just open a box of food, eat it, and then leave the open empty box just on the shelf, on the counter for some worker to clean up. And we would sit down and try to have talks with him and be like, yo, just pay for it, bro. You make enough money. We're all enough well off to be able to pay for our groceries. We're blessed enough to be able to even buy food. But whenever we talked to him, it couldn't get through to his head. He would just be like, whatever, bro, like, I can do what I want. I do whatever I want whenever I want. And every time we go to the grocery store, he'd open food, eat it, throw it, just leave it, hide it behind some other boxes. And he would do this like pretty much every single time.
And let's say he had like 5 things he was checking out. Well, it would be a whole full grocery cart, and he would only scan one of the items out of the 5, and then he would go to the next thing, one of them out of the 5, the next thing, one of them out of the 5, and just full on scamming these companies. And his excuse is that everyone else does it, but he's rich. So I never understood it.
And just because everyone else does something doesn't make it right. And this might come across as, yo, we're snitching, we're doing this, but we're just trying to show you guys like who he is as a person. There's people that work hard, like regular jobs, grind their butts off every single day, and then go to the grocery store and actually pay for items. And sure, it might be a big company or whatever, but that doesn't make it right.
And literally there has been so many times where Jack does something and someone will get a little bit upset and Jack will just be like, no dude, everything's all good, it's okay, bro, like just calm down. But then if the roles get reversed, Jack starts whining, starts complaining, starts getting all pissy. And one of these examples that I can remember straight off the top of my head is when me and Ricky first moved to LA to move in the house together with Jack. The was a big thing, and I decided to do the. I'm literally going up the. I have the camera in hand and I'm just kind of testing it out, and then out of nowhere, Jack pushes me right off the crates. I almost break the $3,000 camera that I'm holding in my hand. I have bruises all over my arms and body. I literally tell Jack, I'm like, yo, when you go, I'm gonna push you off. And then Jack goes, and of course I had to push him off. And then Jack falls, he gets a little bit hurt, and then he starts whining and complaining the rest of the day, like, dude, I can't believe you would do that. Like, bro, like, dude, I only pushed you off the second step, bro. Like, how could you do that, bro? And it's like, the same thing I think is gonna happen if he keeps going down this path. Like, that was just me pushing him off the crates, you know, not even that crazy. But if Jack keeps on doing what he's doing, going out in public, messing with people like this, someone is gonna do something far worse if he doesn't chill out and realize what he's doing.
And another point to that is, I remember after we did that, he was whining and crying the whole day that you did that to him, even though he did the same exact thing to you. And when he did it to Nick, he was laughing about it, and Nick was like kind of hurt, and he was cut up and bruised. And Jack was like, bro, it's no big deal. Just get over it, bro. He is a master manipulator and the most insane gaslighter that I've ever seen or witnessed in my entire life. I've literally witnessed him talk to other people, and they'll think that they're going crazy because they're like, wait, maybe I am being mean to him. But dude, I'm telling you, he knows everything he's doing and everything he's saying is for a reason. And if you do something to him, he'll make you feel bad for it. But if he does something to you, he'll be like, yo, bro, no big deal, bro. It's like, it's nothing. And I know you have a lot of examples about that, especially when it comes to the girls that he deals with and how he takes advantage of them.
I've had girls talk to me about wanting to change their contract that they have with Jack and saying that they want more money, they want it to be more fair. And then when they have this talk with Jack, I don't know how he's so good at manipulating their mind to the point where the rate stays the same, nothing changes, and he has the girl thinking, I don't want to get kicked out, let me start working harder, let me start putting in more work. And it turned in from her wanting it to be more fair to her feeling like it's her fault. He's really good at this. He does this with almost everyone, even me, and it's unfair to these girls.
And the reason why we're even trying to talk about this and spread awareness about this is because if he has no problem promoting all of this degeneracy and all this stuff that he's doing, there should be someone taking the exact stand on the opposite side for the good. Because at the end of the day, if he just does this and everyone lets it blow by, it's gonna consume the world, and the youth will be inspired by it. Just like when Steph Curry started shooting deep three-pointers. As soon as Steph Curry entered the NBA, boom, started shooting three-pointers. You go to the local park, every kid started shooting threes. It's gonna be the same thing. If we glorify this lifestyle, if we applaud this behavior and reward this behavior and say, oh, here's everything you ever wanted, there's gonna be kids that want to do the exact same thing that Jack Doherty is doing. They're gonna mimic his style and try to live the exact same way that he's living. So we're trying to be on the other side saying, yo, you don't need to live like that. You don't need to give up everything in order to live the way he's living and honestly end up not even happy yourself. Because I don't want to see a bunch of little Jack Dohertys running around the world.
If you're a kid watching this and the content that Jack Doherty has made has affected you, I'm here to tell you that you can take a step in the right direction. If you need a friend to keep you accountable or a family member to change your ways to go back in the right direction, I would say start today. Don't let this linger in your life. It's not good for you. It's not good for you now, and it won't be good for you in the future. This stuff can cause generational damage.
So whether it's Jack Doherty or any other type of content that you're watching online, we highly, highly recommend just taking a step back, being aware of what you're watching and how that can affect your life and your brain chemistry in the long run.
What you consume, what you watch, what you listen to affects and plays such a massive role into the person that you become. So I pray that everyone out there thinks a little bit about what they're consuming. It's just like food. If you eat bad food, you're gonna be unhealthy. If you eat healthy food, you're gonna be healthy. It's the same thing with what you watch, so just be careful about that. And if you are feeling strongly about this message and you want to support a good cause, we have these shirts linked in the top of the description. It says stop buying, and a portion of the proceeds go to support men's mental health. At the end of the day, that's why we're making this video, for the young men that do want to better themselves, for the young men that see themselves maybe going down a path and say, yo, not today, I'm gonna end that, and I'm gonna be the change in myself so that I can change my friends around me and change my family, and who knows, the people that you could inspire. And maybe 10,000 people watch this video, maybe 100,000 people watch this video, maybe 1 million people watch this video. But even if just one person, one of you guys out there changes their ways, then this video did its job.